for Pacifica bylaws. I believe Jamie Gomez. Is that your motion?
Yes.
Page 23.
It is page 23.
I believe it's page 23.
Are we skipping old business?
No, that's at the bottom.
This is ahead of old
the
business.
agenda, yeah.
And this is a motion because that was placed ahead on the agenda because of the delegates assembly meeting that was also scheduled on the agenda, which, depending on how the local station board votes on this motion, may decide to happen or not. So, I had to ask myself, well, I mean, I am a member of the
It was passed in the committee.
governance committee, and this was passed by the governance committee, so I am presenting this motion on behalf of the governance committee, if that's okay.
It's fine, thank you.
Okay, so, where was I? I was asking myself, if the local station board has passed a number of motions basically saying that the national board is making up their own rules as they're going along, they're illegitimate because of the manner in which they are seating members of the Pacifica National Board in violation of the bylaws, and now the National Board wants to change the bylaws when they're really not a legitimate body. It's like if we have a delegates meeting to vote on bylaws changes presented by a body that this body considers illegitimate, then we are legitimizing the body. And it doesn't make any sense to do that. So this motion is being presented to basically say that the local station board will not approve any national bylaws amendments unless or until the legitimacy of the Pacific National Board is rectified. So that is the motion.
I second it.
All right. Any
So can
debate?
you,
Discussion?
did you actually read the motion?
I wrote the motion. If you'd like me to read it, I
Read
can.
it out loud so that we can.
Yeah, I can do that. Whereas,
That'll take up half the time we have.
I know. Did you, it's on page 23?
Yeah.
It's on page 23.
23,
Yeah, we've
yes.
got 2 minutes and 15 seconds. left in
Okay,
this.
Lydia?
Yeah, so
so if we would like a
I don't
time
have the
to
microphone,
respond.
but anyway,
Yeah.
so
Debate.
my question is, did the governance committee regard that if there is a court ruling that rules against those who are suing Pacifica on that issue, that happens on Tuesday, I assume that's for Janice, that would be, then you're saying that at the next meeting, we would be voting on these bylaws amendments?
So is that a question?
What do you regard as being the arbiter of what is a legally seated PMB? Do you regard the court's decision as being, it may come as early as Tuesday? And so therefore, my question is, are you saying if the court decision goes one way, that determines it, and therefore we can vote on these bylaws at the next meeting? Or are you simply saying we're not gonna vote, which is our delegates' responsibility? Thank you.
Okay, so if I may answer that question?
1 minute left.
No.
Ken, did you want to
So the
respond?
answer to that question is, based on the motions that have been passed by the local station board, we feel that, the board feels that the legitimacy of the national board is in question because of the improper seating of the affiliate directors and because of the extension of terms of members on the national board that should not have been extended for not recognizing WBAI. For a multitude of reasons, it is an illegitimate board. So your question is, if some court makes a decision on Tuesday, are we going to forget about all this and move forward? And my answer is no. Based on the evidence of the motions that have been passed, this board considers that body to be illegitimate, and I would not approve any bylaws amendments until this body recognizes the national board as being a legitimate body.
I think what Lydia's question is that if a court of jurisdiction creates an order indicating that they're either seated properly or not seated properly, I think as an organization, we would have to give credence to a court decision. That's the question. But right now, Lydia is saying that that does not come up until Tuesday, that there's a hearing on Tuesday. So again, at this point,
I could be recognized too. Well, that's all the time in this
Is this saying
segment.
that this is just contingent on the rendering of whether it's legitimate or not, and therefore, is it saying if it is, then we can go for it later?
I don't know, go ahead. Ken.
That is not what's being presented to the court. We don't know what's being presented to the court. There's a plaintiff, there's a defendant, the plaintiff is making a motion to have it removed. It's got nothing to do about validating or invalidating the status of the board. There's a court case. We don't know anything about it. It's not in our purview. I concur with what Jamie said. This board has declared it considers posting or seating of the PNP to have not been per the bylaws, and therefore they're not a valid board. And if we change it, if something happens, we could reaffirm it.
Grace, did you wanna?
6.5 minutes in the 5 minutes allocated.
The lawsuits are one thing. This board feels that the failure of the national board to seat all of the WBAI directors and taking actions with a deficient number of directors on the national board is in and of itself reason to invalidate this whole process. It's not just the lawsuit. The national board has not used conflict resolution or any other effort to resolve the situation in New York. And that's just one of the issues. There are a number of issues.
Yeah, I think that's it. We're done with time constraints.
We're 2 minutes over.
We're 2 minutes over, okay,
Point of
so,
order. May I call for a roll call vote, please?
yes, okay, roll call vote, Mr. Secretary?
On this resolution,
Yes.
page
Yes.
23,
Yes, page 23, and we're gonna have a roll call vote.
Okay, the vote has been called. We will be doing a
Use the
roll call.
microphone.
Voting on the motion has been called. We will be doing a roll call vote as requested, and we will start out with Mr. Ken Aaron.
Yes, support the motion.
Ted?
Pass.
And it was an abstention?
No, pass.
I think you only have 3 choices.
Okay, was it yes, no, or abstention?
You can pass.
You want me to come back to
Oh, I
you?
see.
Yeah, pass.
Okay.
I'm not passing, I am voting.
Yeah, Mila?
I am saying yes, yes, yes.
3 votes?
Just 3 votes.
One vote to do, thank you, guys.
Let's move this.
Christian?
We have a-
Yes.
Leslie?
Yes.
Grace?
Yes.
Ali?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Jonathan? Yes. Maggie?
Yes.
Ariana?
And on this
Ariana?
side, Ariana?
No.
Steve? Yes. Lydia?
No.
Charles?
Is that a yes?
He said yes.
It's a stylized yes.
Michael?
No.
Reason?
No. Why you laugh?
Steve?
What's the matter with
Yes.
you?
Private joke.
I said something that had nothing to do with you, that's what she was laughing about.
Marissa, I need you to hear this. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Mansour?
Yes.
Fred?
Definitely yes.
Fernando?
No.
Roberta?
Yes.
Sharon?
Unless my vote's needed, I won't be voting.
Abstention?
Can I pass until I hear what's going on?
Okay.
23.
You go back to the passage now at this point.
Okay,
So you got,
Tej.
So-
Yeah, Tej.
Tej?
No.
And I believe the last person we have is Dorothy.
Can I get a summary of the votes, please?
Oh, come on.
We need to know what it is.
All right, Sharon's got it.
All right, I'll abstain.
Abstain. Good.
All right.
now what do we do?
Time for a break?
Okay,
Yes.
let's
Oh, I
see.
already got a vote.
Let's
One,
get the
two,
results,
three,
but I'm pretty-
one,
they're
two,
pretty clear.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 yeses.
There's, got this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 yeses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 noes. 15 yes, 16 no, 2 abstentions.
What? No, say
No,
that
6
again.
no.
You-
You said
Fif-
16.
6 no.
try
15
again.
yeses, 6 noes, 2 abstentions. Thank you for the correction.
Right.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Point of information, do we have a copy in the agenda of that motion?
Number 23, number 23, page 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we take a 5-minute recess and we'll
Okay.
reconvene at